Monday, we're into this month called October. Let's see, we're almost done with the 9 weeks. Next week is the last, this week is the end of 9 weeks. Next week is new 9 weeks. So next week, that means you get new hall passes and 15 B points to add to whatever your current total is. So some of you guys are going to rock it up to like 15 points. Hall passes, they're good the entire year. If you've not used your hall pass, you can cash them in for B points. Each blank line is 3 B points. If the whole pass is blank, I throw in a bonus point. So an entire blank pass is worth 10 points. Let's go! But again, you can hold on to it if you want, or you can cash those in starting next week. I am happy either way. That is up to you. We're going to talk about the 9-week assessment in just a moment because it connects to your e-learning. Last grades for the 9 weeks. I do not have homework this week. I apologize. I had more than enough homework last week. I figured that was enough to last us till the end of the 9 weeks.
Thanks for this. I appreciate it.
That's because I care about you guys. This week, the only homework you have is that piece of paper in front of you, making sure you are good to go for Friday's quiz. That's it. We're going to do the 9-week assessment in class. We have a thing we're going to get a chance to read this week. We have a story that is definitely going to be memorable. And I think that's it. We have 2 grades this week, and that's pretty much it. And then we're done. Hi, what's up?
Do you think the government's actually going to shut down Fridays?
Shut down
Let's
on...
pray.
Like school on Fridays?
Oh, no.
Because it's going to stop.
No, it'll be a long time. Some schools have, but it won't be our school. Yes.
So I'm at 99. So is there extra credit on the quizzes?
Why did they do that?
So we have book fair coming up this week on Wednesday for you guys. When we go there, they have books, they have knickknacks, they have random crap you guys can buy. For those of you who want pencils or erasers or random little, I don't know, action figures that you can chew on. If you bring money, you can buy on Wednesday. We're not going to spend the whole class period. We'll be there about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll come back. If you bring money on Thursday, I can send you back like at the beginning of the class period. If you show up and be like, I want to go buy stuff, you bring money, and then you're good to go.
Why on the regular you said 200 story and then on the story
It says
you
zoo.
said
Yeah, that's good stuff. Because are you mocking my handwriting? Now I have to go home and cry.
like 7 and then 2.
But hey, I'm not writing my hate paragraph about you tonight. I have a new kid to write it about.
No!
Special chill. Hi, Alex.
Why don't we just do all 180 days of school in one day and then just chill for the rest of the year?
Because you guys can barely handle 1 day of school, let alone more than that. Your guys' brains would literally melt in front of me. This is what we have coming up for Friday. It's a story about a criminal and a cop and them being friends and things happening over time and stuff like that. This is what Friday's quiz will be. Let's see. Oh, and the story that we're going to hopefully start today about a landlady and things that happen. Oh, you can put purple sheet away unless you make sure name's on it, but that'll be for Friday. I'm just trying to give you the entire week. That's the only thing you really have to work on as far as that goes. Popular kids, I've already tortured those kids. Those of you who did not turn in the boy world, it did cost you 3 B points. Those of you who have not turned in the e-learning, it did cost you the 3 B points. And I think that covers it all as far as that goes. Those of you who still have iPad out and are not standing, then it means I'm going to have to write horrible things about you. But we'll figure it out here in a moment. That our iPad is sitting in
Wait. Well, my iPad is to cover up the badness of Alex, so it's not there
That's
for...
not how it works. Alright. So this is how 9-week assessment is going to be tomorrow. It is only 3 questions, and that is it. Question 1, you have to figure out the main idea. Question 2, a main idea. Question 3, paragraph response. This is why I gave you that e-learning over the iExcel, because that's essentially what you're doing for this whole thing. You're going to have to go through and figure out the main idea. So that was the e-learning. That's what we have coming up here. So you have 2 articles you are going to read about video games and how they impact us. You're going to tell me what the main idea of one is, what the main idea of the other is, and then you have a little thing where you're going to respond. This is your entire 9-week assessment. Read a thing, and then you respond to a thing. And you're just going to write a paragraph about how do video games impact our health, and that is it. I read.
Why is there a sweatshirt under...
Because a kid left it in my room. I'm hoping if I leave it there, a kid will recognize it and take it.
Oh, well, no one wants that sweatshirt.
I agree, but I don't want it either. Alex!
Are they multiple? Are the questions multiple choice?
1 and 2 are multiple choice, and so is number 3. You can choose to write the essay or choose option B, which is failing. And then this is how the rubric goes. It is going to be a total of 15 points for the quiz, but it goes, or sorry, your evaluating assessment, but it goes in as a double grade, so it goes in as 30 points. Fridays is going to be 30 points, so you have 60 points coming in this week, and then that's the end of your first 9 weeks grade, and then things kind of lock in and you're good.
Hi, Matei.
So for the story quiz form, is that one gonna be like a Canvas quiz or is it gonna be a surprise quiz?
Haven't decided yet. As of now, Canvas, but we'll see. It's where as the week goes along, I'll make my decisions from there. Then, let's have kids get points again. I think we still have volunteer people. We do still have volunteer people. So those of you who have already gone can't volunteer again. Those of you who have not gone, and we have not run out of volunteers yet. So it looks like so far we have had Mary, Callie, Crawford, King, Felipe, Josie, May, Matei, Julian, Aiden, Rahil, Summer, Reed, and Kyle go so far. So you guys are out of luck. We'll pause. Children, you don't get to listen to them struggle.
Finally.
All of those kids did a wonderful job, and there were no mistakes at all.
That's ironic.
No, it's called a lie. Then, let's see, I have no one in here I have to kick out for story quiz. We should be good to go with that one. So to run through it, again, you guys did fairly well. I think there's only like 3 questions that we struggled on. So I'm going to take a look at those 3. If you are a kid that did not do well on it and did under a 22, you can fix it and resubmit it. Friday's quiz, I don't think you get a chance to fix and resubmit, because it is end of 9 weeks. So you're not going to get a chance to next week because the grades are already going to be locked in. So this Friday is kind of a, you only have 1 shot at it. So hopefully that goes well. Lipe?
Did we get to do it twice?
Yeah, I'll also let you do it twice. You just have until end of class, but I'm fine with that. So first one. So numbers 1 and 2 were tough. And if you messed up on these, I don't blame you, because these are the I learn level questions where I think they're kind of struggling. So it says, what was the author's purpose for sharing this story? You guys know what persuade means?
It means like
Try to get somebody to do something.
Yeah. You're trying to convince someone to do a thing. To inform is when we do like our nonfiction articles where you're just reading a nonfiction thing where it's just giving you information. Teaching a lesson is what you get when you do like the SEL things, when it teaches you not to bully people. Entertaining is what happens when you come into my room and you guys get to smile and laugh at the standing kids and stuff like that. The whole point of the story, yeah, it was just to entertain you. But I had a lot of people who chose like the informing and teaching and stuff like that. This, I mean, if this story was teaching anything, it was teaching you how to commit murder. Because she locks a kid in a locker and the snow comes in and he dies, so I'm not really sure that would be along the same thing.
Wait, how do you know he died?
Well, because most humans can't go a week without food.
there's probably water in the locker.
So,
Well, you can't go without water a week.
see,
You
there
can't
go.
go-
Yeah, you can only go 3 days.
You are, see?
He drank the
what's
snow,
the water?
obviously.
Hey, it's actually proven.
It's not
You can
her
actually
locker.
go 11 days. It's his locker.
He
What's
drank
his water
the
in his
snow.
lo- There's like water probably in his
Could be,
backpack.
hey? You write him a letter. Let me know if he's still alive.
Yo, what is a monk?
Question 4. Well, the best resolution of the main conflict. I think this, I did not word this one, but I think the trick was the difference between the resolution of the story and the resolution of the main conflict. What was the main conflict? Who was fighting?
Monk and Priscilla.
Monk and Priscilla. What does Priscilla do to Monk?
Locker.
And what happens at the very end of the story?
Snow.
So it was the difference between end of story and end of conflict. And end of conflict, she puts him into a locker. End of story, that's when the snow comes in. So it's a matter of the resolution of story and resolution of conflict.
Why is there an A?
Because this was the advanced class questions you guys struggled on. There's also an A on that one. There's also an A on this one.
Oh,
Because these are the ones that... This quiz was very similar to the regular class because it was one that every 7th grader had to take. So the regular class had like 9 questions we had to go over. You guys only had 3 questions we had to go over. What's up?
is A the average grade we have?
On this one, it was a little bit lower. I think it was like in the high B area. The last quiz was an A.
Who messed up?
Wow, yeah, let's call out kids and attack them. That sounds like the right way to do it, I think.
That's what the story taught me how to do.
Is that what it is? So, and then, which of these is not a strong example of irony? Well, first off, let's take a look at irony. So, Airbags save lives, place children in rear seat. Is that an example of irony?
Yes.
Why?
Because the rear seat doesn't have an airbag.
Correct. So we're saying save kids, but not this way. Just go ahead and let them die in the back seat. What are procrastinators?
People who don't.
What happens to their meeting?
Die.
So that would be ironic. This one?
It's always open, but it's closed.
And so it's not always open. This one?
A basketball stuck in a rim.
Yeah, it just means that apparently you're not a very good basketball shooter. Which brings Reed much sadness. And so that would be the one that was not ironic. All the other ones had some level of irony to them. All the other questions you guys averaged like an 80 or 90 on, so it wasn't much of a problem. These are the only ones that dipped down to like 70-ish. 1 second. What's up?
Are you about to take a point away from us?
Depends. Are you sitting on the back of your chair as opposed to standing?
What?
Are you sitting on the back of your chair as opposed to standing?
Yup.
No, then it's definitely you I'm charging points to.
I said,
What?
yup, that's not me.
I know, so it's not you then.
Okay.
It's you. Good conversation.
When Reed went, he meant like somebody else is a bad shooter, not him.
Oh, that's definitely what it is.
I'm so good shooter.
Then, again, if you did not do well, you can submit it, send me email, and you're good to go. For those of you who did well, keep doing well, and then hopefully you'll keep going for Friday. And then, I think that's it. Let's get to our next thing. So, here's the next thing we're going to deal with. Home children, you get to miss this part. We'll come back with you in just a moment. We're going to do a thing without you.
I don't know what's interesting.
Then, let's see, we get to continue. Home children, we picked a book that we're going to be reading out loud together moving forward. You do not have to take a test or a quiz or do a book report on it. It's just one that we get to read out loud with my melodic voice, even for those of you who hate to hear me reading. But at least it gets you out of having to read a book on your own. There we go. For today, let's take a look at our story you're getting ready to get to. This one is the other story that is going to be on Friday's quiz. But this is the one that I'm reading with you. So we have the purple one is the one you read on your own. This is the one I get to do with you. Hi, Matei.
If like a graphic novel count as one of the books we have to read for the class, or it has to be a
So
chapter?
what is foreshadowing? Jump to that one first. Yes, Alex?
It's where you like reference something that's going to happen in the story.
Nicely
or
done.
earlier point in the
Clues
story.
in the story.
Remember Lady and the Tiger?
Yeah?
How did that one end?
It didn't.
No. It didn't.
Correct. This story is the same way. It is literally. I made a promise last time that we were not going to read that kind of story again, and I'm not one to lie to smart kids. So this one does
That's a
just
lie.
end in the middle. The difference is when this one ends in the middle, you get to use foreshadowing to figure out what happens.
It's the
There
same
is
thing.
definitely an ending on this one. You just have to pick up on the clues as we go through. Imagine in Lady and the Tiger, if the girl throughout the whole thing kept like making little purring sounds and then being like, I love cats, and then being like, rare. So like throughout the entire thing, she kept talking about tigers, and you get to the end and you're like, I wonder what the end of it is. That would be the same thing here. All right. So this time, Julian, we're going to give you a Simpson sheet because you are officially down to 5 points. So now you have to do 100 lines. And we're going to help you out. Because hopefully we're not going to have to put you in the hallway tomorrow. But we'll see how things go. You
Not
just
like
go.
Jameson.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you make poor choices.
Wait, Jameson.
Keep turning. Keep turning. There you go. So on this one, the foreshadowing clues are going to help you out. Plus, they're going to freak you out because you're going to start seeing the clues. Those of you who pay attention as we read, you'll start figuring out the stuff in there. What is suspense?
That's suspense when you were about.
Nicely done. We will pick up with suspense on. Hang on, I can only charge you so many points. Other than that,
Ouch! He pushed me.
when you leave, wave to Ramos. She has volunteered to sit and watch all of you as you take off because she was so excited. She hates for you guys to be sad. Run away! Standing kids don't leave. You get to hang out with Ramos. Silly kids who make choices.
Yeah, for real. How much you bet I'm better than you?
I don't have to bet anything. I know you're better than me.